President Obama hit the campaign trail, and he reminded us that when he wants to fight, he knows how.
The president said he'd pass a middle-class tax cut before the next election. Congress isn't even in session. He just makes it up. He says, I'm going to protect your pre-existing conditions, while his Justice Department is in court right now trying to strike down those protections. That is not spin. That's not exaggeration. That's not trying to put a positive glow on things. That's lying.
This video is actually what's so frustrating about Obama. Is that when he wants to be good, he can do it. He can do it. He could have done more as president. And this reminds me of not the 2008 campaign, which most people say, oh, that was the most inspiring and all that. I actually didn't think that, because he was not in favor of single payer back then. He wasn't in favor of universal health care. And he, in many ways, he seemed kind of centrist. I mean, he had moments of seemingly being further left than anybody else on stage, like, oh, I'll talk to Iran without preconditions, for example. But yeah, it was, he ran on the left, but not like far left, and it was a mix. Now, in 2012, though, that's when I really had the eye-opening moment of like, okay, Obama just governed as a centrist for 4 years. But here he is running against Mitt Romney, and all of a sudden, he started sounding like Bernie Sanders in the 2012 campaign. I don't know if you guys remember this, but there were ads about, you know, what he did with Bain Capital and what Mitt Romney did with Bain Capital and, you know, other companies that Mitt Romney had shut down and their factory jobs outsourced, and Obama's people went to the fucking plant where these people were losing their jobs, and they're talking about how, and we had to train the people who were taking our jobs from China, and it was degrading, and he fucking hit him hard, man. When Obama wanted to come across as further left than he actually is, he did. And that goes to show you he's a wonderful campaigner. For a guy who governed as a corporate centrist, his approval rating when he left office was 60%. So that means even despite his neoliberal corporatism and his centrism, people were still like, yeah, Obama, really kind of like him. You know, obviously the Republican base would never support him in anything, even when he did the policies they preferred. But he's a wonderful politician. And this clip reminded me of that. Because it's like, he's managing to hit Trump way harder than Hillary Clinton ever did, never would be able to. And he's just doing it casually in a rally. You know? I mean, that's what he made. Those were good points. I mean, I remember that was one of the stories we covered when I was in LA on TYT about how Trump was like, yeah, we're going to do a tax cut. We're going to do it before November. That's what we're going to do. Before November 6th, before the midterms. And Congress isn't even in session. You literally cannot do a tax cut for the middle class in that time frame. And also, you're admitting that the previous tax cut was not for the middle class. And lo and behold, here's Obama. He's making the same point. And he's like laughing at Trump. He knows how to campaign, dude. He knows how to campaign. But again, this is what is so frustrating about Obama, is that you look at what he did do, which people on the left give him credit for. Paris Climate Agreement, the Iran deal, pardoning and commuting all these sentences for so many nonviolent drug offenders in his second term in office. There's many things he did that were good, and you could check out my Obama report card segment to see all the good and all the bad. But the point is, watching him do these rallies, it reminds me like, oh, you could have been so much better than you were. Like, you could have fucking, when you had the supermajority, you could have twisted arms to at least get a public option. Never mind, you actually could have fought to get Medicare for all. And I know all the counter arguments. Oh my God, you would have never gotten this blue dog or that moderate Republican. We'll never know because he didn't fight. Because he immediately said, oh, forget Medicare for all. We'll do a public option. Oh shit, there's a little bit of opposition? Okay, we'll do Mitt Romney's bill, the Heritage Foundation's bill, the individual mandate bill, which we'll call Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act. So we'll never know. We'll never know because he didn't fight. And here's the main point, because he doesn't actually agree. if when he campaigns, he knows how to campaign well and fight, and he knows how to be like Bernie Sanders, sound like Bernie Sanders when he's doing a rally, then how come he couldn't actually get those policies through? The answer is simple. He didn't want them. He didn't want them. He actually is a centrist. And there's video of him calling himself a moderate Republican, that if you go far back enough in time, my politics are a lot like a moderate Republican's. That explains everything about Obama. What was he successful in getting implemented? Centrist policies. Moderate Republican policies. That's what he got. That's what Obamacare is. Individual mandate healthcare reform. So he's successful. Barack Obama is one of the most successful moderate Republican presidents of all time. Barack Obama is one of the most successful moderate Republican presidents of all time. That says everything about his legacy right there. Some good things, some bad things. He knows how to fight and sound further left than he is on the campaign trail. That's why he's so good at winning. But in terms of governing, it's not as good as he sounds on the campaign trail.